Hi guys, it's been a while, huh? It's been about 12 days, I think, since our last video. And the reason for that is, we have some big news. And we want to share the big news with you guys today. But before we get into that, what have we been doing for the last 12 days? We've been pretty busy. We had a lot of errands to run. I had to work on my permanent 13A visa. For those of you who know, if you're married to a Filipina, you can apply for a 13A visa, and I did so about 9 months ago, got approved, but it's called a temporary 13A visa, and it's good for 1 year. And then at the 9-month mark, they suggest that you go back and reapply at the 9-month mark. You know, some people wait a little longer. But that's what JRC recommended, so we did so. So we stopped in JRC and did all the paperwork once again. It's basically just putting forth the information that you already did 9 months ago. There's nothing new, it's just reapplying. So I guess it's all about collecting all those fees. So we went ahead and did that. Obviously, you have to do another NBI clearance. Which is kind of like the FBI clearance in the United States. So we took care of that. All the paperwork is in, and now just waiting for them to make an appointment for me because I need to go back to Cebu for one more set of fingerprints. I think I've been fingerprinted now, let's see, twice in Leyte and twice more, so that's 4. So I've been fingerprinted 6 times and then once in Cebu. So I've been fingerprinted 7 times in 2 years here in the Philippines. So that was something that we've been working on. Also, we had 2 housewarming parties that we're invited to and 3 barbecues. So 2 housewarming parties and 3 barbecues over the last 12 days. So we've been busy, just enjoying ourselves and hanging out with friends and things like that. So we do have some big news, but I want to show Wilma. What else? She's cleaning.
Hello everyone.
It's been a while, right?
Yes.
So Wilma's just cleaning away, and the reason why I show you that, and I think all the longtime viewers know that that's basically what Wilma does all day long, is just clean, clean, clean. So let me get out and show you the big news. All right, so I'm making my way outside. So I want to show you the pool for a specific reason before we get into the big news. So you may ask, all right, you had a couple barbecues and you had to deal with JRC one day. You know, that's just a few days. Where you been for 12 days? I've been right here. This is where I have been for the last 12 days. And I'll show you why. Take a look at this. We just moved the vacuum. Look at, that's what it's supposed to look like. There's so much dirt. Look at the steps. Oh God. Look at the surface of the water. I don't know if the camera is picking it up, but just absolutely packed. So that's what it's supposed to look like. And that's what it looks like. So that's where I've been, guys. I've been working on keeping the pool clean with all the dust that we experienced with the excavation of our neighbor. And that's the big news. We're very excited that our neighbor, that is actually one of our subscribers, and I'll get into the story here a little bit. This is where the dust was coming from. Now again, nothing to do with the neighbor, it's just the way it is. When we did our construction, we created a ton of dust as well. So that's just part of it. So we're just telling the story, and of course our other neighbor down there created some dust. So the wind comes from this way. So when they were doing the construction there, the dust was going that way. But when they were doing some of the excavation here, the dust was coming, and I'll show you, from here, this way. And guess what's on the other side? So it was just, I think it was 10 days total of excavation, which is pretty typical because it was a lot of work to do. And we just had to keep up with it. So that's where I've been. I've been, really working on every day vacuuming the pool. So let's get to the news. Look at this. A lot of work has been done in a short amount of time. Now, I will say that our neighbor there, made it clear right off the bat, he didn't want his build on YouTube. And that's perfectly understandable. This is right for sure. A lot of people are private. The build over here, which has stopped, the family there I haven't seen in about 3 months. So they built a shell of the house and then stopped. And I never did ask them if I could video, go up onto the property and say, hey, is it okay if I put your build on YouTube? Because a lot of you guys are interested in builds, not just, life after the build. See down there? See our garden? It's all flattened out. So what we did last week, last Saturday, is Lin, who's right there. She's here today. Last week she was here, and we basically said, here's a box, take every vegetable. So there was okra, there was a whole bunch of eggplant, there was just a bunch of vegetables there, and we said just pick everything and take it home to your family. And she flattened all this, and now we're going to get grass to grow down here. We're probably going to plant some more fruit trees. The fruit trees are really doing well, and we're not going to do a garden here, not for the during the dry season that's we're heading into. So our neighbor said, who is a subscriber, the wife was here last summer and reached out to us and said, hey, can I come up and see your home? My husband watches your channel back in the U.S. all the time. We said, sure. So she came up, spent the afternoon with us. Very nice lady. And she actually contacted the owner of this lot. Because this lot was sold, I think, 12 months before we bought our lot. And look at this, guys. Look how clean the pool is. I'm sorry for bragging, but guys, 2 hours a day for the last 10 days. So let's call it 20 hours of work. And just look how beautiful I got the pool. I was swimming yesterday. So sorry for showing the pool more than normal, but a lot of effort went into this. So with the laser beam being out today, and another part of what has happened, we had no rain here for those 10 days, 0 rain. And Wilma and I were laughing about it, that it rains here at night, rains here 2-3 times a week, and all of a sudden, no rain, which obviously creates, more dust. So yeah, she was up here last year, contacted the owner, and come to find out, they're relatives. So she spoke to her relative and bought the property. So they want to build or getting ready for retirement. And they finally did retire, and they're in the Philippines full time now, just a few weeks. And I got a chance to meet her husband for the first time a couple weeks ago. Great couple, very, very nice. I do not believe they want to be on camera. But she called me, a week ago and said, hey, you're welcome to video the entire build. And actually, she has a young engineer who's working on engineering the property, and she wants me to interview her engineer, because he's new to the business in the area. Kind of like we did with our solar installer, new engineer, and trying to get his business started. Well, he's trying to get his business started. So I will be interviewing him and let him introduce himself, and hopefully he can get some additional builds as well as throughout the process. So excavation is done. You can see that they have some trenches here. Let me get a little closer. And I'll be going up onto the property, and doing some more videos. But looks like their driveway is going to be right here. And then you can see the trench here. That's where their fence is going to be. So I did see on the engineer's laptop the design of the fence. And it's going to be extravagant. It's going to be very tall. And you can see how deep they have. It's all going to be rock on the outside, and then very tall, very nice looking fence on the 2D design that I saw. And then the house is going to go up here. They're still working out who the contractor is going to be. They're doing everything correctly. I think they're interviewing 3. I know of 3 contractors that's being interviewed, and there could be a 4th. So they're doing it right. And they also wanted to get all the excavation done before they started to build. And that's so important. So many people here do excavation after the home is already starting to go up. And I think that's a mistake. You guys recall that we had 7 days of excavation, and we flattened this property. We got it ready to build upon. We built the wall. We did a lot of the landscaping all before the house was even started. So that's what our neighbor's doing as well. That's very smart to do it that way. So it's a clean slate. So the property here is, I think it's about 1,200, 1,300 square meters. And I'll get the specifics. It's somewhere between 1,200 and 1,300 square meters. Our lot, as you guys know, is 1,100 square meters. So a couple hundred square meters larger. And the house, I believe, and I have not seen any rendering of the home yet, because I still think they're still working out the details. But it's going to be a very large home. I believe it's going to be 300 to 400 square meters, where our home is 168. So let's just call it twice the size of our house. It's going to be 2-story. So it's going to be a very large house, 4 to 5 bedrooms, I believe, 3 baths. It's going to be a very large house. So that's going to be very, very interesting. And just talking to the landowners is, see how they kind of similar to us to some degree. You can see we have our garden, and then we have our 8-foot high rock wall that goes up, and then our pool, and then our house. And you can see how it gradually goes up. So that's an 8-foot drop, and then this is a slope. Obviously this is level because of the pool, but see the steps, as you guys know, a couple steps up, and then the house is up on that pad of concrete right there. So kind of similar. It just appears that they moved there, and that's probably 8 foot. I would imagine from this area here to there is probably 8-foot rise, so very similar. But their house is going to be up top, and that makes a lot of sense. Get up above, the homes down here below to enjoy the view. So we're very, very excited. I think it's going to be an interesting build. I want to thank the homeowners. Again, they don't want their names or even be on video. The wife said that possibly the husband may want to be on camera with me and maybe interviewed as a 10%er. He could tell his story of retirement. But like I said, I only met him like 3 times, so not sure how that'll play out. If he wants his privacy, perfectly okay. We're excited about See It going up. You guys are going to get another building the Philippine style. How I will, talk to the contractor and work with the engineer I believe the company that is doing the fence or the wall, I always call it fence, the wall, will be a different contractor than the house. So I believe the wall is going to go up first. And you can see they're starting to get some rock and some nice sand delivered. They got their bunkhouse. They got their temporary electric. They're moving fast. That's what I like to see. They're moving fast. Again, great couple. Met them a few times. Really looking forward to this house going up. And I'm going to do my best to really show the build very similar to how I showed our build. Trying to get into some detail as much as possible, not just saying the house is going up, but try to get into detail. We'll see who wants to be on camera with the construction crew and who doesn't, so I'll know that in advance, and then not obviously put anybody on camera that doesn't want to be, just like we did with this build. But I know the engineer who I met already wants to be on camera and wants to be interviewed, and he wants to show off his work. He wants to show everybody in this area, being a young new engineer, that he can design a beautiful home and see it through. So hopefully we can get him the due diligence he deserves and show all the hard work that he's putting into designing the structure of this home. And I'll be bringing it to you step by step. So I believe the contract, my understanding, is 10 months. And again, if I misstate anything, if I get corrected by the homeowner, I'll bring that information to you. But I believe it's a 10-month contract for the home, but not sure when it's actually going to get started. I know that the fence, the concrete wall, is going to be started here in short order. Look at the rocks. Let me see if I can do a zoom. See all the rocks that they encountered? I mean, a lot. Let me see if I get a little closer. They buried a lot. I mean, I don't know who had more rocks. I'm not sure. I would have to go back and look at all the ones down in that hole down there. There is quite a, which just comes with the territory when you live up in the mountain. So a lot of them were buried. There's a lot of large rocks in the back. But again, these guys know what they're doing. They will bury those rocks and you'll never see them. Do you guys remember the school bus rock? I refer to it as a school bus rock, which is about here. For new time viewers, this pool was supposed to be 3 meters this way. This green carabao grass / weeds wasn't supposed to be here. This pool was supposed to be 3 meters, which puts it right about there, going this way, which would have gave us a bigger patio from the steps to the pool. Now we're only 3 meters from the end of the steps to the pool. We were supposed to be 6 by the original design. But the reason for that, and if you go back into early playlists, there was a stone here, maybe 6 foot round, but it was the size of a school bus, went straight down. And you guys saw how big our excavator was. He dug down over here, had to have been 15-20 feet down, and the rock was still going at like 15-20 feet. And he did his best to push the rock, to try to get the rock just to fall sideways and go down this way, and then we could have the pool, out this way. Wouldn't budge. Would not budge. So I made the decision to leave it. We brought more dirt up, raised this area, because I think this was only going to be like 6 feet. I think we went 8 feet rock wall and buried the rock. So the rock is probably, 10-12 inches below the dirt here, but there's a giant rock here. So that's just part of building a home where there are seas of rocks. Look, there's a giant rock there. I don't know if I mentioned in a long time. You see these trees here? Well, there's a rock from there all the way back. That rock's got to be 20 foot long. Has to be 10 foot high, probably 10 foot wide, sitting on that property. So there's just challenges here with very large rocks. And that's because we live on the side of a mountain. You can see mountains in behind there, and then the big giant one right behind us. Let me show you a photo of the home with the mountain behind it. So that's all part of the challenge. If you want to build your own home and you want to build on the side of a mountain and you want to have an ocean view and get up in elevation, as we're 640 meters above sea level, was at about 2,100 feet, you're going to have to deal with some unique challenges. And the unique challenges are in the ground there's a lot of rocks. So there you have it. That's the big news. Excited that our neighbors are, one, are great people, very nice, and two, there's going to be a beautiful home here in a few months.